Gundam Wing sucks. There, I said it. Some of you are probably leaving now, that's fine. You're not why I'm making this video. No, I'm making this video for me and the trauma on my life that is New Mobile Report Gundam Wing. Who am I? I'm Zypher. Just somebody who got swept into the hype and nostalgia that was Gundam Wing until I went back and realized this is awful.
Let me take you back to a time when the internet was young. Information and entertainment weren't at our fingertips like today, so we'd have to schedule everything based on when our favorite shows aired. In comes the original Toonami, an after-school hours block of the most action-packed shows that Nickelodeon was too squeamish to air, and Disney was like, we're not doing that again. With shows like Thundercats, Robotech, Voltron, Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon. Yes, it was good to be young and have cable TV. Sure, most of the shows had aired a decade or two before, but that didn't matter, because they were awesome. And then in 2000, they aired something unheard of, something fresh and new that no common child had ever heard of before. Gundam Wing.
Glorious. My prayers have been answered.
I kid, but at the time I was about 11 or 12, and my young mind was actually craving a cartoon that was more down to earth than the highlights of yet another anthropomorphized animal. To young me, Gundam Wing was exactly that. Something grounded with a serious tone, not using animation for comedy, but to tell a story about people and the issues that the future may hold.
Too bad it winds up bloated with an egotistical fat head shoved up its ass.
The year is after Colony 195. Human beings leave Earth, and I'm completely taking that from the show. Sorry. I was so into Gundam Wing, I actually memorized the opening narration to the point I still remember it to this day. So let me try and rephrase this. Space colonization is a thing now, but because of how big space colonies have gotten, they start to crave their own independence. But the Earth Sphere Alliance or Federation, depending on your preference of sub or dub, has decided to occupy the colonies with military force. But, you know, only as peacekeepers. So, of course, with hostilities rising, some colony citizens come together to create a counterforce. This, Operation Meteor, is a plan to send down Gundams to Earth. The Earth government is aware of this, so, of course, that means they must have a well-planned countermeasure to this, right?
Moving object confirmed at Lagrange point AX, moving in the GY position. Estimated to reach Earth in 600 seconds.
It's not just one.
No, sir. The radar has picked up 5 metal objects.
Zechs is in the atmosphere. Let him know what we found. It's probably some parts from an old satellite or something else like that.
Yes.
What? So despite the fact that multiple people in the military are aware of Operation M, the one guy in charge just says,
"These meteor-looking objects that happen to be entering the Earth's atmosphere at the same time in 5 separate locations couldn't be anything important."
You're fired. I don't care if you're a fictional character, you're out of a job. I'm real, which means I outrank you. Now leave.
So this introduces us to Colonel Zechs Marquis, a self-described true warrior with a secret identity. He goes to intercept our title mech when they realize there's a civilian ship ahead of him.
Relative speed to target 01545. Engaging auto-lock. Ready to shoot the obstacle down.
Isn't there a chance he'd shoot down the shuttle and increase his speed? It's not very likely that he's going to shoot it down right in front of us. He's on a secret mission, you have to remember.
Yeah, exactly. A secret. Which I'm pretty sure if you destroy a civilian transport, you ruin the secret. Also, you're the hero of the series. Why the hell are you destroying a civilian transport?
Anyways, our hero of the series is named Hero. Yeah. And he pilots the Wing Gundam, a giant robot, or mobile suit, made out of a metal mined from the moon called Gundanium. And trust me when I say, the robot has more personality than the pilot. Hero and Zechs fight in re-entry to Earth, and Zechs puts the Gundam into a hold, forcing it to crash into the ocean. So, right off the bat, the guy we're following through this whole series fails in his first mission and probably died. I'd feel disappointed, but...
He pointed his gun at a civilian shuttle! Dear God, it's like if Spider-Man went to a fire and all the firefighters were in his way of the fire hydrant, so he broke all their backs! Ugh! Fuck, man. Who was on that shuttle anyways?
Our unknowing victims of Hero's genocidal campaign are Vice Foreign Minister Dorlin, the only Earth government official who's actually discussing peace talks with space colonies, and his daughter, Relena. Which means that if Hero had gone on to destroy the shuttle, then he would have killed the most important person to bridging conflicts between Earth and space. Less than 10 minutes in, and the main character potentially fucks up his whole mission. 10 minutes! And we still have 48 episodes of this. Moving on. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. Relena walks home, but discovers what I wish was Hero's bloated corpse on the beach. She calls for an ambulance, but Hero wakes up.
Don't try to move. The ambulance is almost here.
Hurry! Hey, who are you?
Government healthcare must be assassinated. Up yours, Canada!
My name is Relena Dorlin. What's yours?
Oh, hi, Relena. My name is... Call another fucking ambulance for us, you asshead! We cut to Zechs chatting with his CEO and best friend, Treize Kushernada, letting Treize know...
Gundams are on Earth.
This is a soundbite.
Zechs continues to tell Treize about 4 other Gundam encounters in the middle of an orchestral theater performance, because that's how Treize rolls. He then heads to a military meeting to talk about Zechs' encounter with the Gundam.
Colonel Treize, I hear your subordinate lost 3 mobile suits when they entered the atmosphere.
Yes, sir. Your point being?
You wasted 3 mobile suits just to bring a minor rebellion under control?
And as a result, we were able to prevent the rebellion from developing into anything.
I'm not talking about the results! You're abusing the Alliance military's valuable combat resources!
Valuable combat resources? Are you talking about our soldiers, or are you talking about mobile suits?
Are you making fun of me, damn it?
Oh my God, that was great. That was great. Who is this guy? I gotta find out. It's General Septum. Oh man, this is the best thing to come out of the show. The best thing.
Say what you will about bad dubs in foreign shows, but every so often you get gems like General Septum here. He sounds like if Cobra Commander swallowed Igor whole. Probably one of the few things in Gundam Wing that will make me smile. But the episode goes on as Relena returns to school, where a new transfer student has just joined, and surprise, surprise, it's Hero Yui. So she does what any girl would do when an assassin joins the student body, invites him to her birthday party. Hero then responds politely.
But why?
I'll kill you.
What kind of person is he?
He's an idiot is what. First, you just told your target that they're going to die by your hand. Second, you just drew attention to yourself by tearing up an invitation to the party that everyone wants to go to in front of everyone. Third, you just threatened an innocent girl's life. I think this show is very confused on who the bad guys are.
This scene is so infamous, I went up to a Hero Yui cosplayer and invited him to my own birthday party.
Oh my God!
You know what's even more ridiculous about this scene? This does not deter Relena at all. Oh no, in fact, she wants to know more, because, you know, nothing turns on a person more than having their lives threatened!
As the series continues, Relena has her big birthday party, and her father has to go out on business. She sees a few pictures of his, and hears the plot-convenient radio, then somehow comes to the conclusion that Hero was what fell to Earth.
That's a lie. Hero was in one of them. Then, does that make Hero? Is he a little prince?
Where do I begin with this pile?
All you know is that Hero washed up on shore in a military suit. You happen to have seen a ship outside your seat window. Hero never told you anything. So how in the plot hole did you come to that conclusion? Next, how dare you call Hero a little prince? The Little Prince is a beautiful French story about creativity and a social commentary on how societal expectations can cull human imagination, something you have no right to compare an emotionless sociopathic asshole to. Just scene change right now. Zechs searches the ocean for the Wing Gundam, but encounters only death.
You'll all die. Anyone who sees me has got a date with his maker.
This is Duo Maxwell, the real hero of the show, and so far, the only one that's actually got a goddamn brain. He finds the Wing Gundam and decides to pick it up for spare parts. Meanwhile, Relena ditches her own birthday party to go find Hero at a military compound where he's stolen a bunch of torpedoes.
No, Hero, don't do it! Hero, what are you doing?
Relena, you're an idiot.
Relena keeps barraging Hero with questions until he points a gun at her face. He's about to pull the trigger when...
Hero!
Who are you? It's pretty obvious to anyone that you're the bad guy here.
Yes, thank you! Now Relena can forget about Hero, fall in love with Duo, and pilot the Wing Gundam all for herself!
Stop it! What do you want to shoot him for?
For trying to shoot you, you dumbass! Are you so thirsty that you seriously forgot what he just did? You have a boy band's worth of pilots, and you choose the homicidal robot?
Duo continues to take in the Wing Gundam, but Hero launches the torpedoes, so no one else can take it. Duo figures out that Hero's the pilot as Hero lays face down in the salty ocean with open bullet wounds. And what happens to our great assassin after all his hard work keeping himself a secret? He gets captured by the Earth government. Great work!
Wait, why was Hero captured? From what the show says, Relena came and got some paramedics, but why wasn't she arrested too? Or Duo for that matter. Why didn't he just pick up Hero with the death scythe and head out? Unless it was damaged by torpedoes, but the show doesn't say.
Oh hey, there's Duo.
I see you've got no choice but to lie there. I'm sure a talented guy with your skills would be able to read my lips. Well, can ya? Your acting is just amazing. You've regained consciousness without increasing your pulse or your brain waves.
How? I'm pretty sure that any instrument that measures brainwaves or muscle movement are sensitive enough to detect even the slightest differences, so either their equipment sucks or Hero is actually brain dead. While Duo is planning the escape, Major Sally Poe is decrypting Hero's secret disk of how to install Twain on Photoshop. Okay. Well then Duo strikes as the two leap from the building and Duo pulls out what is the most badass propeller in the history of sci-fi. The only way it could be cooler is if it was also a gun. Meanwhile, Hero takes a nosedive.
Die! 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 Die!
Damn it! I shouldn't have released my parachute.
Damn right you shouldn't have. You should just let Duo take over the show. Hell, it seems like you don't even care about being the main character. You keep wanting to end your own life. Why should we even give a damn whether you do or die?
You know what the problem is? Is that he just doesn't seem to care. He thinks that sacrifice is the best way to solve his mission and doesn't care about his own life. And if you don't care about your own life, why should I? Now, I'm not talking about clinical depression here. I'm talking about someone's conscious decision to take their own life because that's their mission.
Like Shinji Ikari. He's manic depressive, but you see why. He has father issues, fear of abandonment, and social anxiety, but there are episodes where he's happy with friends, and we want him to succeed because he's so human. But Hiro is a chode and a tool. He has motivation, but no emotional attachment to make him relatable or compelling. So let's focus on other, more interesting characters. Zechs arrives to a military base to retrieve the Tallgeese, a prototype mobile suit decommissioned for being too powerful that it risked the safety of the pilot. He is then interrupted by 2 Gundams attacking the base. Now, I haven't talked about them before, mostly because they haven't really done much, but now's as good a time. First is Troa Barton, the boy with no name. How does he have no name when he gives it a bunch of times? I don't know. He just keeps exclaiming it before he introduces himself. Other than that, Troa just kind of feels like a Hiro clone. No real emotional investment or other character traits besides assassin. Troa also pilots the Heavy Arms Gundam, one of the biggest missile spam robots in all of Gundam. But of course that makes for one big glaring problem. Once it's out of ammo, it's SOL. Luckily today comes in the Sandrock. This model comes with heat scimitar and yeah, that's about it. It really comes kinda under-equipped by comparison of everyone else. But at least its pilot has some personality. This is Katra Rababa Winner. He actually tries to talk his way out of a fight, but usually has to kill his enemies. He and Sandrock both appreciate the beauty of Earth. So of course, when Katra and Troa meet, they become best of friends. After they duke it out like a couple of bros, of course. While they hug it out, Zechs escapes with his new old mobile suit, the Tallgeese. But the interesting thing is the relationship between Zechs and the Earth's government. See, Zechs and likewise Treize are under the military as special ops, or as the show likes to awkwardly name them, the Specials. They are actually a group trained by Oz, a military organization controlled by a group of aristocrats called the Romefeller Foundation. Now, none of this will actually matter until about halfway through the series. However, the fact that they put all this exposition into a very summarized moment proves how awkward the dialogue is. Instead of providing little key insight to the inner workings of Oz, we have this exposition dump that can be very easily forgotten.
And this is the biggest trick to Gundam Wing storyline. You think it's going to be about these 5 pilots, but in actuality, it's a political game that they barely take part in. No, all they do is just some guerrilla tactics that don't really do much damage in the grand scheme of things. No, they don't go information hunting, they don't find out who's in charge, and what's most disorganized of all, they never knew about each other.
We see repeatedly that despite finding more Gundam pilots, they know nothing about each other, and because of this, they turn on each other first. You've completely disorganized a tactical operation by not telling anyone they had allies. If even one of their attacks were to hit at the right time, you'd be out a super giant armored robot. Okay, before I forget, because he's just that forgettable, this is Chang Wu-Fei, the last of the 5 Gundam pilots. He attacks the base led by Lucrezia Noin. She is completely devoted to Zechs to the point she actually makes sure her rank is lower than his to make him look better. I mean, there's dedication, and then there's just addiction. But it's not like Wu Fei is any better. He's always talking about how he hates weak people, and how he shouldn't be underestimated because he's a kid, and then turns around and looks down on Noin just because she's a woman.
A woman? Now it makes sense.
Idiot, she's also a lieutenant, meaning she has a fairly high rank that she can command a group of soldiers and has had various training in kicking ass in hand-to-hand and mobile suit combat. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't base your own biased outlooks on which door she has to use when going to take a piss, you fucking Nimrod!
You saw I was a kid and you underestimated me. You're a weak soldier.
I don't kill bleeding hearts or women.
You don't deserve an awesome Gundam like the Shenlong, although to be fair, it's just a ripoff of the Dragon Gundam from G Gundam, which came out 1 year earlier, and if that wasn't a ripoff enough, you are yet the third strong silent type character in the Gundam pilots.
We're 4 episodes in, and Duo is the only thing that makes this series worth watching. And if you think they're gonna give him more screen time, you're dead fucking wrong. We have to deal with this hormonal mess.
So come and kill me!
Yeah!
You want him to kill you? Why? Do you get some sort of sick sadistic thrill from this? Are you just that desperate for his dick that you hope he's a necrophiliac? Seriously, you thought Bella Swan from Twilight was bad? This deluded brat wants to bone the guy that put a gun to her face and almost pulled the trigger. What is wrong with these people? If that wasn't enough, Miss Target on her back goes back out into space with her father, who's on business to discuss a compromise between Earth and the colonies. But they're also being watched by Lady Un, Trace Kushranada's right-hand soldier. So right-hand, she's even in his Roman bath. Yeah, she's really devoted to him. I bet she wipes his ass. But she doesn't like Vice Foreign Minister Dorlin. In fact, she plans to bomb him. With a compact that Relena was kind enough to return to Lady Un.
Excuse me, ma'am. I think you forgot this back in there.
You idiot!
Huh?
Jesus, lady! That was an amazing arm! You just threw a compact through the second-story glass window in a space colony, which, granted, I don't know how different colony gravity affects throws, but either way, that was an incredible shot! This amazing throw then leads to Relena looking for her father. She and her father are then taken into protection by a mysterious group of people, but not before her father reveals she's actually adopted!
You've got to believe what I'm telling you. Your real name is Relena Peacecraft. You're the daughter of the Peacecraft family that was so well known for its total commitment to pacifism.
Also, seriously, get some better taste in men. Dying now. Just a reminder, you're a Peacecraft princess. Peace out. I'm funny.
Don't die on me! No, Father! No!
Relena then vows revenge, and soon meets Dr. J, the creator of the Wing Gundam and mission briefer for Hiro Yui.
Oh, and Dr. J reveals something important about Hiro's name. Turns out that name was taken from the peaceful colonial activist whose assassination sparked turmoil between Earth and the colonies. Yeah, so they took the name of one of the most famous people in recent history to hide their colonial assassin. The idiocy goes all the way to the top, huh?
Relena prepares for a return to Earth with the help of Dr. J, all the while Lady Un begins a press release for her own story for Darlin's assassination. So they decide to get to know each other, talk about movies, how's school going.
May I ask you why you saved my life, Dr. J? Is it because of my father? Because I'm Dorlin's daughter?
Not at all. It's because you had the same look in your eyes as Hiro did. That genuine expression. Hiro is actually a kind-hearted young boy.
Yes, I know that.
What? Kind-hearted? He's about as kind-hearted as the fucking T-1000.
In the 5 episodes up to this point, we have seen no remorse, sympathy, or even regret of the carnage Hiro has wrought on this war. In fact, he's laughed about every time he shoots something down. Yeah, kind-hearted, like a goddamn crocodile. And this one you can blame on the dub. See, originally it was that he was a kind-hearted boy, but he changed. Even so, they say he still has kind eyes. You know, especially when he's pointing a gun at you. He's really just killing you with kindness.
Like 20 minutes into this, and I've only gotten through 5 episodes.
Relena and Hiro return to school with everyone in a commotion over Vice Foreign Minister Dorland's death. But there's no time for that because prom is tomorrow! Relena confronts Hiro, saying she met Dr. J, which actually catches Hiro off guard. She also stands up to him because she knows he can't shoot her in the middle of a party. So that leads to the dance, where we get interrupted by an Oz attack led by Lady Un targeting Relena. But Hiro comes in, shoots down all the Ares mobile suits, and actually saves Relena from falling debris. Emotionally conflicted he can't kill her, Hiro runs off into the next episode.
Okay, even though I just skimmed over it, this was one of the more well-written episodes, with character conflict, Relena standing up to her assassin, and Lady Un following up on killing Relena. There's just one problem with it. Why the hell did Hiro come back to school?
We saw that Hiro was captured and documented by Earth's government, and because of Relena, they had a name, school, and record they could potentially trace. Yet no one thought to leave a reconnaissance group to make sure if he ever came back. And why should he go back? He had his Gundam, and it'd be easier to just dash off to some other location. Also, why is he still targeting Relena? Did he not receive a message from Dr. J like, don't shoot her, or even, why didn't he report about her compromising the mission? Even if there is a potential radio silence or whatever, you'd still report on your mission, especially if you're letting a 15-year-old kid pilot a giant robot.
God damn, the more the show goes on, the more stupider it gets. And so do the pilots.
Treize, the glorious leader, spreads news that Oz officials will gather together for a large meeting. But as it turns out, they're only Earth government officials, most of which are gathered to talk about peace negotiations with space colonies. Most, except for our best friend, General Septum.
You're saying reduce the forces? We've been under attack by mobile suits from Gundanium alloy made in outer space. These indestructible suits have the Earth in a virtual crisis. What do the specials think? You fought with them. But what about the problem with those mobile suits?
Yes! He's back! Oh man, I can't get enough of this guy. Wait. Who even voiced him?
Okay, Gundam Wiki says Ishin Chiba, but he's the Japanese actor. What about the credits? No one says who they played, but that's okay. Let's cross-reference that with IMDb, then we'll take a listen to some samples. Maybe it's Michael Dobson. He kind of sounds like Nappa from the Ocean dub. Okay, it's not Michael Dobson. New plan. What if the actor wasn't credited? He kind of reminds me of Deckham Barton from Endless Waltz, who was also Michael Dobson. Oh, but the movie says it was Jim Burns. So let's see if we can find Jim Burns somewhere. No social media. It says he has a Facebook, but not really. It's just a general, he exists and here's people talking about him. Darn. Well, that was a wasted minute and a half of video.
Legit, if anybody can confirm this, I will personally send you an award. I need to hear this from the Canadian horse's mouth themselves. Wait, what was I doing?
Right, the plot. I'm sorry, I thought finding out minor character casting was much more interesting. But anyways, yeah, Treize gives out false information and bam, each of the Gundam pilots takes the bait. But the one to deal the fatal blow is, of course, Hiro, as he strikes down the ship just because it has an Oz logo painted on the side. But only after Hiro strikes, his good buddy Wu Fei, whom he just met, tells him they were all set up.
Check out the Alliance's report. You guys just wiped out the Alliance's pacifists.
We will not yield to the colonies! We must fight them to the bitter end!
Very nicely done, General Septum. We won't be needing you any further.
What?
No! General Septum! You are the only character I truly loved. God damn you! God damn you all to death, Scythe Hell!
Oh man, Hero's taking Septum's death about as well as I am. Oh, I'm sorry, that would mean he'd have a goddamn heart. No, Hero's just wallowing in self-pity like he rage quit an online match in Mortal Kombat. But as it turns out, this was all a larger plot by Oz to take out and replace the Earth's government. With no solid leadership and many Oz soldiers in various bases, the government falls. Sally Poe from episode 3 arrives to the Gundams and somehow, without any knowledge, just guesses that Hero's a Gundam pilot and asks him to stop a bomb from blowing up. Meanwhile, Wu Fei goes to kill Treize. Lady Un tries to protect him, but, and I'm not kidding, Treize stops Lady Un by replacing her monitor with an open valley of flowers. Master Treize, please let me help. You are a shining... Aw, puppies frolicking.
Yes! Kill him! Oh, okay. Fine. Kill him!
It was a good fight.
Somebody kill somebody!
Do you guys not know how war works? When your enemy is in front of you, you find the easiest way to kill them. This isn't some gentleman's game. People's lives are on the line. Systems of government have been toppled, and you two are playing a game of Nidhogg? Fuck you! And then, oh my god, the Gundams yet again fall into a trap. They all get lured out to trains and cargo planes, becoming completely surrounded. Zechs gets to try out his new tall geese on the Wing Gundam, but their fight is interrupted by Lady Un threatening the space colonies, telling the Gundams to surrender. But, before all that, we get an incoming message from the good Dr. J.
I repeat, I surrender, but I will not hand over the Gundams.
Mission accepted.
Hero's dead! You know what that means? Duo's the main character now, just like it was always meant to be.
No, Troa, what are you doing? He's dead. Just no more. Stop. He ceased to be. Well, okay, if he's not dead, he will be after your bumpy ride in the Gundam's hand.
Do you people get it now? Do you understand? Gundam Wing is terrible. Hero is a worse assassin than Naruto, Relena is the progenitor to Bella Swan, and they bear nothing on the overall plot. The only likable characters are Duo, Catra, and of course General Septum. And the plot doesn't even know what to do with 5 massive power machines. Except treat them to guerrilla warfare, and even then they get played more by Oz than they do with their own damn writers. Screw this with the rusty spoon. I'm out. Roll credits.
I'm reminiscing after school afternoons. That's when I fell in love with Japanese cartoons. While everybody else was chilling doing other things, I was glued to my TV watching Gundam Wing. It left quite an impression that I reflected on. My red Mitsubishi's nickname was Epion. Assembled model kits, collected action figures. I knew every single Gundam related fact and figure. Gundam Wing's why I fell in love with anime. Not Ike Turner, I'ma stay in love with anime. My bad Tina, but I gotta let them know that all I wanna do is rock shows in Tokyo.